Let's get to Carter. As earnings season passes the halfway point, roughly a quarter of S&P 500 companies have missed estimates. Check out some of today's laggards. Roku down a whopping 23% after its report last night. P&G, as we mentioned, sinking 6%. Intel plunging 8.5% after posting its worst earnings miss in 13 years. Listen to what CEO Pat Gelsinger had to say about those results today on Tech Check.
We missed yesterday. We own that. And, a lot of that was the economic, but a lot of that was us and our execution. We're being put firmly accountable for that to our shareholders. At the same time, we'd also say we made a lot of progress. And yes, I need to do better. We need to do better, and we will do better.
All right, so here's a question. Is the bottom in for some of these laggards? Carter Worth is here to talk through the charts. Carter, what do you see?
Well, as always, just as there are great winners, earnings beats, there are always great losers. It's just how the game is played and how the cards or the chips fall. Let's look at a few, the three you mentioned. First, Intel. I mean, one of the oldest rules in the book is just don't buy stocks in downtrends. Every once in a while, it's right to break that, to be a so bad it's good circumstance, but it's rare. And usually you want it to be something that's really plunging, as opposed to this, which is just a deliberate and orderly 45-degree angle down. And then today, of course, down 10% again. I wouldn't touch this in any circumstance. But look at also this. Look at Intel's relative performance. So the next chart is relative to the S&P. I mean, talk about down and to the right. Look at a longer-term relative. This next one is 5 years. That's just Intel as a ratio to the S&P. Now look at the chart going back to the 1990s. Intel's relative performance peaked in 1999. It's been doing nothing but not rewarding owners on a relative basis to other choices, i.e. the market. I just wouldn't do it. Now look at, for instance, Procter. Now Procter had a drop in gap, but I don't have any lines on that chart. I don't know what you do with it. It's just nothing. Sometimes there's no trade. Procter's okay, back to where it was a week ago, a month ago. It's not really doing well, but is it really going to crash from here? No, I'd say no trade, leave it alone. And then finally, Roku, again, like Intel, if you're just down and down and down, as tempting as it might be to buy, really wait for it to bottom. That's what a bearish to bullish reversal is. That's not what this is. It just plunged. You can see the drop in gap. And if you look at the long-term chart, and this is the real problem, a double top, we're back to the COVID low, just a point or two above. It can't be a good business, because it's not a good chart.
All right, Carter, thank you. Carter Braxton Worth, we'll see you back here in a few for options action. Karen, I'll go to you because some people have made the case that Intel is a turnaround story, and they've got a new CEO. He's got a plan in place. And at what point do you determine that it's a value trade and that there's a turnaround potential and you ignore the charts? Because what Carter outlined was pretty dismal.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the revenue miss to me is really disconcerting. I mean, that's an enormous miss. Obviously, from that flows a lot of other bad things. So I also, given what's happened to the space, which I know it's down a lot, but it is just, they've been such a laggard. And I feel like this sort of once in maybe a generation kind of shift from really a market leader to very much a market laggard is really hard to turn around. So as a value-ish as it may appear, it's not for me. I don't know that it will be.
Yeah, Grasso, any of those charts, stocks look tempting to you?
Yeah, I'm always tempted to do the fireman trade, even though I have that 3-day rule. When you look at a stock like Roku, and Carter mentioned the pandemic low, I think it's already broke that low. It's trading right around there, to his point. If you use that 63.50, which is, you have to use a real tight leash on this one, I think you could shoot against that and maybe you have a little bit of a rally. I think Procter, just as a standalone, they were reluctant to raise prices, and we've seen Chipotle raise prices, we've seen McDonald's raise prices. I think Procter has to raise prices, and I think you see the stock rally from there. I would not touch Intel. I've been negative on semiconductors. I think we're going into a glut, and that chip spill is only going to add to that premise.
Procter has raised prices on products, and I think that's the concern, Courtney, that that maybe there are these names, these consumer staple names, they're at the end of their price increases. There's only so many times a consumer is willing to pay for toilet paper that costs 3% more, 3% more, whatever the price hike is.
Really? Really?
Well,
You're going to stop paying for toilet paper?
No. You might trade down, though, which is what they're saying. You might go to private
Trading down
label.
is exactly what's happening.
Right? And that is in part what they say is happening, Courtney.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah, we're not going to stop buying toilet paper. We're not going to stop buying laundry detergent. But people are starting to trade down to their cheaper alternatives. And I think clearly what you're seeing here is this is showing that inflation is hurting the consumer right now. And I think it's one of those things where ultimately, what does this mean for the Fed going forward? It's another one of those items where maybe bad news is good news for the markets overall. So we need to see some sort of weakening in the strength of the consumer or weakening in demand in order to bring down inflation. So we don't want to be brought down so much that it's really going to turn the economy into a recession. But P&G even said they're not seeing that. They said this is a slight decrease that they're seeing in demand. It's not a huge downturn, but they're also acknowledging it is there. They don't want to disconcert this as a trend that's happening. A lot of their downturn also was from the shutdowns in China. So I don't think all of this is just the deterioration of the consumer, but that you're definitely seeing those inklings of that in there. And I don't think it's something you want to ignore.